I bought a Steam Deck OLED in 2025. Here's my thoughts. I've wanted a handheld gaming PC for the longest time now. And finally, in April of 2025, I bought a Steam Deck OLED. Actually, been wanting to get into the world of handheld PCs for a while now. A friend of mine picked up a Steam Deck back when they first came out, and I tried it for a few minutes. I thought it was really cool, but at the time, I hadn't played a lot of games on Steam. Primarily, I play on either the Xbox or PC games, but not necessarily Steam games. I have a gaming desktop PC, NZXT Player 3, that I bought in June of last year. The idea of the Steam Deck was pretty cool, but I don't have that big of a library of Steam games. When it comes to the different options for handhelds right now, there was a few that I was considering. So the Legion Go, the Ally X, and the Steam Deck OLED. I think that I made a really good choice. And I am so excited to try out the Steam Deck and see how some of the games in my library look on it. I have a huge backlog of Steam games that I've never downloaded or played or even tried. Lots of games that I've gotten through sales, where the games are really cheap, or I could get a bundle for, I think I got 18 Command & Conquer games for like $3 a few months ago. And I haven't even tried any of them. And I don't know how RTS games are going to play on the Steam Deck, but I'm still going to give them a try. I've got some other action RPGs and some racing games. I definitely want to try as many of the games in my library as I can. And when I was looking through to see if they will play on the Steam Deck, most of them had that green checkbox or the verified that they will play. So I'm pretty confident that most of the games that I have in my library are going to play just fine on the Steam Deck. Another thing that I'm really looking forward to is trying out the emulation. I have a lot of retro games and love retro gaming, but just don't really have the time for it much anymore, and don't really have the means to hook up and play these systems and have them look really good. And I don't have a whole lot of games for each of my consoles. Being able to download some of these games through emulator and try them out on the Steam Deck, that's another thing that I'm really looking forward to. I think that there's a lot of competition right now in the handheld PC world. I was looking at getting a Legion Go or an Ally X. I really like the Ally X. I was playing on it at Best Buy. The way that it feels and just kind of the overall look of it, and it was really nice, except for the fact that I just really don't want to have a handheld that has Windows 11 on it. I really just can't get past that. I use Windows 11 at work and at home, and to have that on a handheld, I just don't think that would be the best experience. I'm wanting more of a handheld console, and from all the research that I've done, the Steam Deck provides that console-like, take it out of the box, turn it on, you have access to your games, you play them, everything just works really smoothly out of the box without a whole bunch of adjusting settings and updates and controller layouts and all these other things. The Steam Deck just seems to work better is what I hear. And I could see that. I run into issues getting things to work on my Windows 11 desktop PC. So I couldn't imagine having a handheld that has it. I just don't want to deal with that. I want it to be simple and approachable and built for the experience that I'm looking to have. And I think that the Steam Deck is going to provide that experience. Also, the portability and the form factor of the Steam Deck. I really like how it's one solid design, and it doesn't weigh that much at all. I was really surprised how light it is. And I got the 1 terabyte OLED model. It is so light, but it feels extremely sturdy and really high quality. I like the way that the Ally X felt, but when it came to the Windows 11 interface, it seemed really clunky. And another thing too was the thumbsticks being in that Xbox position on the Ally X. There's something about the symmetry of having both thumbsticks in the same position on each side of the Steam Deck that it just is more comfortable to hold in my hand when it's the same on the left and the right. The Legion Go, I know that it's powerful and it looks really cool, but it was so similar to a Switch with how you could take off the controls, and then you're just kind of left with like a tablet. And so that might be cool to play remotely or to be able to sit back from the screen a little bit. But that just wasn't the experience that I was looking for. I want the console to be one solid unit. I don't need the controls to be able to separate. And so that was another reason that I really liked the look and the feel of the Steam Deck. Steam has such a huge library of games, and I have, I think, a little over 50 in my library right now, but with how many games go on sale and how often you can get games on sale, you can go to Humble Bundle, and there's just so many options for buying discounted games on the Steam store that I'm so looking forward to playing a variety of games that I would have never been exposed to, through console or even just sitting at my desktop PC. I want that portability and that form factor to be able to play games on the go. And I think that having the Steam Deck is going to allow me to experience and play more games than I have before, and also enjoy a lot of the games that I've had in my library, backlog of games that I just haven't had the motivation to sit down and actually play. And I think with the form factor, the portability, and the convenience of playing on a Steam Deck, I'm going to have that opportunity now. And that's really exciting. I'm looking forward to playing a lot of my backlog games on the Steam Deck. Another big thing too was the price. So I got the 1 terabyte Steam Deck OLED. It was $649, and the Ally X and the Legion Go were at least $150 more. And I know you can get a used one, or maybe you don't get the Ally X, you just get the first one. But I think that there was a lot of value in getting the Steam Deck. And even if it's not the best performing handheld, the performance doesn't matter to me so much because I don't play a lot of the newest AAA games. Most of the stuff that I play is games from the 90s or the 2000s. Ones that are a lot older or have a lot lower resolution. It doesn't need the power of the latest technology to play. So I think based on the games that I have, the performance isn't going to be an issue. I'd rather have the nicest screen possible. So getting the OLED, that was something that was more important to me. And also the battery life of the Steam Deck, I hear, is really good. It also seems like the Steam Deck has a really awesome community behind it. All the content that I've watched on it, anybody who owns one of these things just absolutely loves it. And so I find a lot of value in that I want to own a console in a community like that who really likes it, there's so much resources around the Steam Deck. There's so much content. There's so many guides, how to add emulators, how to, get the best settings. There's just so much passion when it comes to the Steam Deck that I don't think a lot of the other handhelds have. Steam Deck community just seems freaking awesome. I'm really looking forward to being a part of that community and having access to all the things that all the community members have found and all the helpful guides and videos. So it definitely seemed like the console for me to get, just based off of that community feedback and the popularity and how everyone seems to love this device. I've had the Steam Deck in my cart for several months now before finally deciding to go ahead and buy it, even though there is the Switch 2 on the way, even though the Steam OS is going to be available to install on other handhelds, and they have the Legion coming out with Steam OS on it. There's just something about that form factor and the convenience and the look, the feel, the community, everything around the Steam Deck just made me want to get one. So all those other factors aside, I am absolutely excited for buying a Steam Deck in 2025 and seeing what it has to offer. And I'm really looking forward to playing some games on the Steam Deck for sure. And maybe I'm missing something. I don't know what else you can do on the Steam Deck, but I know that there's a lot of things you can do going into desktop mode, emulators. You can load up other operating systems on it. There's so many possibilities. Do you have a Steam Deck or another PC handheld? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear about it, or also to hear your thoughts on the Steam Deck. And do you think that this is something that's worth picking up still in 2025? A quick update, I am still doing the digital detox. It's been a couple of weeks now that I've been off social media, and I still am finding a lot more time in my day. Now that I'm not scrolling, it's really refreshing. Now I have bought a few things that I don't think I would have now if I was still just kind of throwing away my time scrolling and swiping. Or I bought a few things lately that have all had something in common, and that is portability, small form factor, approachability, and convenience. And so the Steam Deck really falls in line with that. I've also recently bought a MacBook Air, 13-inch, like the smallest one that they make, the smallest footprint. And that's what I do all my editing on. And I'll probably make some videos for that, along with some more Steam Deck content once I start playing and getting a feel for that device and how it works and everything. I'm sure that there'll be a lot more to talk about. So if you like this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you enjoy my content, if you found some value today, or just like listening to me talk about things like the Steam Deck, don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.